All this action from the SBK series is proudly brought to you by NGK Spark Plugs, Bridgestone Tires, and Rapid Bike Tuning. Welcome back after lockdown. We're back at Zwartkops. Not a spectator in sight, but looking forward to some big action out on circuit for round 3 of the South African Superbike Championship. SBK has been incredible, and we've been here already this year. However, after lockdown, Zwartkops is looking very, very good to a lot of guys and girls who have made it back here for the 3rd round of the NGK SBK series. It's going to be fantastic to see a lot of returning riders and, of course, the combination of Bridgestone Superbikes alongside the NGK SBKs. And you can see David McFadden, championship leader, a little bit chilly this morning, but he'll be looking forward to the hot action with Clint Seller and the usual contenders at the front end. A big welcome to Sifiso Temba, his teammate, who joins us for the first time in SBK. And Nasi Vodwala will be joining them as well as part of a very, very big contingent of new riders. Old riders like Nicole van Aswegen are back again.
Yes, I thank my dad for letting me ride his big monster Ducati. I've been missing the racing with all this lockdown and stuff, so they gave me the opportunity. They asked me to come ride, so I said, okay, let me try ride this beast. It's the first time I've ever ridden 1,000 in anger, so it's going to be easy, I think, like stable and just taking it easy.
Another contender will be Han McMahon on the BMW.
First of all, thanks to NGK and Bridgestone for having us. It feels good being with the big boys again. I think it's about time we step up. Guys, I just want to say thanks again. All our sponsors out there, BDJ Freight, Expro, Jay's Consultants, Pakisa. Guys, thanks very much for Mag Magic and V&V as well. And then, I'm just missing my teammate Byron Rothwell today. So it's empty stall without him today. But I hope to see him back again anytime soon. So thanks guys.
Brian Bontekoning will also be looking forward to the action on his V4 Ducati.
It is, I must say. It's way better than sitting at home building models and garden flower beds and planting cabbages. It's great. Just got to get my eye in again, and I think I'm going blind because I don't see much at the moment.
On an awesome signing R1, Luca Bertolini will be at the front of Bridgestone as well.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been out on track. It's been 4 months. It's really good to be back. It's just a pity that there's no spectators and everything. It's really good. The conditions aren't too great, but we're slowly getting back into things. Just glad to be racing again.
The oldest rider in the pack will be Ian Thomas.
Super excited to be here. Super excited that our sponsors, Bridgestone, NGK, could invite us and we could start all up. I'm sure from their side it was a tremendous job to get us all here. Without the spectators, but still, super cool, man. Just the weather, hopefully we'll play with tomorrow and then we can have some good fun.
The stepping stones are working well in motorbikes. As you can see, Nasi Vodwala from Bridgestone Challenge now up to Bridgestone Superbikes.
Yeah, very excited under a lot of pressure now. In Bridgestone Challenge, we didn't have so much pressure. Now we're running with the much faster guys. SA stopped the best guys in SA, so see how it goes.
Qualifying vitally important, particularly when we've got cool and cold conditions. The temperature around the circuit has dropped dramatically, and so that means that the track conditions are going to be very cold as well. It's going to take a little while to get these Bridgestone tyres up to race pace, but you can see a lot of these guys just taking it gingerly initially, and then hopefully going to be stepping up the pace to get to the front end of qualifying and ensure that they're on the front row of the grid. Jared Schultz was looking to get to the front row of the 600cc's and was pushing hard as Ricardo Otto came into the round leading the championship. He's got some work to do. Wadvala, as I said, stepping up from the Bridgestone Challenge now into Bridgestone Superbikes for a full rest of this season. He'll be looking forward to that challenge. Seller, having only taken 1 victory this season, will certainly be looking to push as hard as he can for a double here on the day. David McFadden will just look to consolidate as he leads the championship coming into this round. Damian Purificati, also at the front end of Bridgestone Superbikes, will be looking to consolidate as well. But it's busy out on track, and we're going to have to wait and see who's going to have what it takes to get to the front end by the time the qualifying sessions end up. Garrick Flock was looking spectacular and certainly looked like he had a chance of putting his R1 at the front row and possibly even on pole. And when the checkered flag came out, that was indeed the case. Garrick Flock on pole position with an incredible last couple of laps. Whoa, what happened here? That's Jared Schultz's R6, and that's not the way you want to be going into a race. Lots of damage. Let's go and find out from Jared what happened.
So I was coming out of turn 4, just trying to get out of Clint's way. I saw he was on the fast lap. After that, I'm not too sure what happened. next thing I knew, it was a couple seconds after I moved, and then next thing, Clint was in the back of me. My fault, his fault, I'm not too sure, but yeah, I'm glad we're both okay, and we're going to see if we can get the bike fixed for tomorrow, but yeah, not too sure yet.
As you heard from Jared Schultz, the other bike involved was the King Price Extreme Yamaha here, and unfortunately Clint Sella, as you can see, with a lot of damage on his bike too. Let's find out from Evil Knievel what his point of view is on this incident.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, just really sort of unnecessary, unfortunate incident. But yeah, one of those things. Racing is always has its challenges. So yeah, bike's pretty damaged, which is obviously upsetting. But Steve Cannon going to be a miracle worker hopefully, and get the bike ready for tomorrow morning's warm up. Absolutely.
Time to get that race rubber ready as well. Get them onto the wheels and ready to go now for race 1. Join us off the break for NGK SA SBK here from Zwartkops. Welcome back to Zwartkops. It's round 2 of the Extreme Festival, round 3 of the SA SBK National Series sponsored by NGK. And out on track now, about to roll out onto the grid for race number 1 are all of the usual contenders. Joined up with the Bridgestone Superbike category, we've got 15 riders about to go to battle. Magic Michael White makes a welcome return, but we do have 4 riders who had some incidents on Friday. Notably, Blaze Baker, Dino Iotso, and a big loss to the front end of the 600cc's is Iotso. But Blaze Baker was a big contender here. So let's take into account that he is definitely going to be one of those guys to keep an eye out on the welcome return, hopefully at the next round. Couldn't get his bike sorted out in time, but all 15 riders now making their way to the grid for race 1 start. Magic Michael White, as I said, a big welcome return for him. He'll be looking to get at the front end and take on the usual contenders. Now the usual contenders are sitting 2nd and 3rd, and Garrick Flock made a massive maneuver in qualifying yesterday to get to the front end and turn things around there on the DCCS Core Mining Yamaha R1. There it is, and looking forward to getting out there to go to battle. The Bridgestone battle axes are on there. Final chat there with the man who's helping him out. He looks like he's good to go. David McFadden will be looking to consolidate as much as he can, because remember, with the shortened version of this series and less races in this calendar, he's only got a couple more to do to hopefully take another national championship. Lights are on. We're about to go racing here for race 1 of NGK SBK coming out of Zwartkops. Lights out, and we're about to go down towards turn 1. It's Volkswagen corner now, turn 1 as they head there. McFadden got a good start, but round the outside comes, Garrick Flock sweeping through and hanging on for the whole shot as they head towards turn 2. Can he hang on to the inside line now? McFadden's on his outside, Sellers right behind them. Late braking from Otto, who dives up the inside of Magic Michael White with Schultz. Jared Schultz goes with him, and Damien Purificati around the outside. Somebody ran wide. That might have been Dion Nelson, I think. It was an all-black bike by the looks of it, and Nelson might have made a slight mistake down into turn 2. Now as they head up towards turn 4, first 3 bikes on track are R1s. And heading into turn 4, Magic Michael White can't find a way through there on the 600s. Maybe a little bit rusty there from the last couple of races that he's missed out. Remember, he was the previous champion in this category and stepped out of his championship season to go and race internationally. He's eventually through on the 600s and moves up to 4th place. Wadvala having a fantastic dice there. Ian Thomas is involved there as well. And look at Bontekoning just leading that little battle at this stage with Nicole van Arsvegen on the big Ducati just tucked in behind. Watch out, here comes a move from Purificati on Otto. Otto sweeping line from the 600, much bigger corner speed on the 600cc, and Purificati had to back out of that one. He's the meat in the sandwich there between the 2 600cc riders. McFadden has lost out, and Sella is pushing hard for the lead, never mind for second. He got through on McFadden and squeezed through into the final corner. This is Otto's point of view, right on the tailpiece there of Magic Michael White as they come out of turn 2. The Raw Projects and Otto Racing R6 absolutely hauling through there. Ian Thomas in his own little fight there with Safisa Temba. Safisa Temba, 2nd of the King Price Extreme Bikes and having a fantastic debut here in National Superbikes. Coming up onto the breaking point, Jared Schultz is all over Otto. Otto all over Damien Purificati, but Purificati using that little bit of extra squirt as they went down the back straight. Here comes a move on the inside from Sella. Sella backs it in and actually forces Flock wide. That was a huge move there from Kinsella, but Evil Knievel hits the front. Now, can he try and pull away? It's normally what he likes to do. As soon as he hits that front, he'll put in that little bit extra work and just open up a marginal gap. And that one he can always maintain, but he's not being able to do that just yet as Flock goes with him. McFadden waiting by the wayside. Michael White late on the brakes with Purificati. Here comes Schultz for the lead of the 600s. Can't quite make it stick. Right on their tail, you can see 2nd place there, Bertolini in the Bridgestone Superbikes, trying to make his way through to try and get up there with Purificati. Purificati just hanging on for now. Here's a replay of Sella late on the brakes. What's that back tire? Step out. In fact, on both Yamahas. They both had a big sliding moment there into turn 5. And fortunately kept it upright. It could have gone all wrong for both riders had they not been able to get the grip out of those Bridgestones. Now onto the brakes for turn 2. Michael White being closed down by Damien Purificati. Purificati has stepped up his game big time. He is loving life here in this combination of Bridgestone Superbikes and Nationals at the Extreme Festival. Sweeping through turn 4 in the King Price Extreme Yamaha, heading up towards the top of the hill, and on his tail is Garrick Flock. Flock is not giving up here. He's going to push Sella to the line and give him everything he can in terms of the pressure that he's able to give. Bertolini not able to quite get through there as well. Dion Nelson is back on track, and he's making his way through though, but he's a couple of laps down, and he's now into the fight there with Ricardo Otto, Hein McMahon and Brian Bontekonen. Looks like Otto might have dropped ever so slightly back there. We'll keep an eye on that one as they come flicking through. And he's not quite up at the pace of Jared Schultz. There you can see he's lost a lot of ground there to Schultz since he's got through. It's about 4 or 5 bike lengths. He makes it up on the brakes as they come into turn 8, GNH Transport Corner. But he's got some work to do now to try and get to the front. Remember, he'll also be looking at consolidation of points right now with the shortened version of 2020 season. On his tail is Bertolini, Luca Bertolini, on the Nzinga Works machine, looking to try and get through there. He hasn't been able to find a way past those 600s. How's this little battle though? Bontekonen, Nelson, here they come, under braking. Hein McMahon around the outside. And here comes Wadvala. Baptism of fire there for Nassi Wadvala on the fast bike racing machine, but he is certainly loving life, as are these two. Ian Thomas and Safisa Temba having a great battle at the back end of the field. Dion Nelson looking to return the favour here after making a mistake all on his own sim and hopefully get up as high as he can. Remember, he's still going to score in national superbikes, so there's a very good possibility he'd probably get up to about 5th or 6th place in terms of points scored if he stays out and stays upright. Sella's done it all right here as they come down into GNH Transport Corner, maintaining and just controlling things. But the pressure is getting bigger and bigger from Flock. Flock is looking for a way past and has had a couple of dives at certain corners. Turn 2 where they're heading right now, he had a big one on the last lap. Magic Michael White under pressure as well now from Damien Purificati. Battle of the 8s here, 58 and 88 as they go through there. Consortium Shipping, Dent Carpets and Ridgeway Race Bar taking on the man from Anderlift Racing. Hard braking coming out of Brian Bontekonen, and he has to brake hard because he's got one of the fastest ladies in the country on his tail right now. Oh, Van Arsveen in a little moment there. Nicole setting that big Ducati up as they came out of turn 2. And just maintains a great run for a welcome return to Nationals. Coming through and hard on the brakes. You can see Sella had to be hard on the brakes because it was Garrick Flock who was trying an overtaking maneuver. Not a long way to go for those two. Ricardo Otto still fighting here with Bertolini, but Bertolini just doesn't have an answer. Little 600 is just keeping him at bay for now. Even though he's got a little bit extra squirt, Bertolini can't find a way past, and you can see why. Running wide at certain corners like that is not going to help you get through on SA Championship leader Ricardo Otto. 1 lap to go as they come across the line. You can see it's going to be very, very close. And have a look at the lean angle and the right foot here of Magic Michael White. Right off the bike, not even near the pegs. In fact, he's on that Akrapovic exhaust pipe, trying to hang on. And here comes second place in the 600s, Ricardo Otto, still maintaining the gap there over Bertolini. These two are going to go at it. I wonder if Flock is going to have a go. Remember, these two riders have both crashed out at previous rounds at Zwartkops. They don't want to make any crucial mistakes right now. Otherwise, championship points are going to go towards McFadden and not towards the two of them. Schultz has done it all right in the 600s and has controlled things despite the big crash yesterday. Well done, and hats off to the team for getting that bike ready to go. Alfie Swanepoel has done a fantastic job to get him to the front end here today. Here comes late braking from Nicole Van Arsveen and trying to find a way through there on Bonte. Bonte just shuts the door. Ducati versus Ducati, the new V4 taking on slightly older machinery, but that 1299 still got a lot of squirt, and with hardly any weight on it, must make it a huge, huge contender. Well, Safisa Temba's got through on Ian Thomas. With 1 lap to go, can he hang on? Thomas is going to try and come back at him. A nice little fight between the two of them as they head into the final lap. 4 corners to go as they come up on the braking point now for 5. Into 6, double right-hander, and it's the King Price Extreme Bike who's going to be out front. Sella's done it all right. He's controlled everything from the front since he hit the front. And brilliant stuff from him, because this is exactly what he needs. Wins are absolutely crucial right now. You cannot afford to be finishing off the podium or not finishing at all. That's probably the most important aspect of this championship right now, due to the season being cut short. So the win goes to Sella. Garrick Flock comes through for second, and McFadden will take third. And a great run here from the 600cc's. In fact, BSB's first. Let's have a look at the Bridgestone Superbikes. It's Damien Purificati on the back end of 4th place, 1000cc winner. And magic stuff there from Magic Michael White. There is the 600cc winner. Schultze comes down and is a long way down the road from Ricardo Otto, who battled a little bit in the closing stages. Something must have gone wrong. Let's have a look at the official results there. Sella from Flock and David McFadden. Top 4 was Michael White. Damien Purificati winning the BSBs ahead of Jared Schultz on the 600s. And let's catch up with the riders down in pit lane.
My bike was absolutely and utterly destroyed after an incident yesterday, so yeah, my team worked until the late hours last night. Steve Cannon rebuilt my whole bike. Dwayne Pinard donated half of his R1 to me, and yeah, we're very fortunate that we could come out and win just like that. That was a really good one.
Great win for Jared Schultz as well, bringing him back into contention for the 600s.
Race 1, I just got behind Ricardo off the line, sat there for a bit, made my move in the third lap, and yeah, just controlled the pace from there. Slowed down a little bit there at the end just to save my tyres for the second race, and yeah.
Welcome back to Zwartkops and race 2 about to make its way out onto the circuit now for the NGK SA SBK series. And between races, David McFadden basically rebuilt his entire R1.
So McFadden, looks like you're making a lot of changes here, huh?
Yeah, when you get beat, you need to change everything to make sure you can come right for the next race. And yeah, we're going to try some things for the next heat and see if we can get back to winning it. But glad to be on the podium again and get some points, but yeah, let's see what we can do in the next race.
Garrick Flock on pole position will look to try and capitalise and make it into a win this time. Dion Nelson will look to make no more mistakes, and Magic Michael White will get onto the podium if he can. Ricardo Otter's going to do some changes as well. As they line up now for race number 2, it's 12 laps of action coming your way. Lights are about to go out, and when they do, we head down towards turn 1. It's a great start there from Dion Nelson. Much better this time. Can he keep it upright? Purificati coming through rapidly as well. And McFadden whole shots. Oh, the changes have worked by the looks of things. Hopefully they can keep it all together for all 12 laps. But he holds shots, and it's Clint Seller who moves his way up into third place, tucked in behind Garrick Flock. Purificati sweeping around Jared Schultz as we get a great shot here from Ricardo Otto. Otto showing us that the two 600s are already in the mix. Looking back now at Dion Nelson and Magic Michael White as they come out of turn 3 and onto the back straight for the first time, trying to go to the second fastest part of the circuit. Top of the hill is the fastest part. They're heading there now. Michael White on Bertolini. Bertolini goes defensive. Behind that, Nicole Van Arsveken doing the same thing. Van Arsveken trying to keep up Nassim Vodvala and Brian Bontekoning. As they head to the top of the hill now for the very first time, we're back on board with Ricardo Otto closing in, and look at Schultze. Oh, and there's someone down. There's a big crash. Yes, that is Damien Purificati who crashes out at the top of the hill, and Purificati making a big mistake. Hopefully he can get that BMW picked up and back on track, but he's going to lose vital ground here in the Bridgestone Superbikes. Top 3 are thousands. Second group is led by a 600, but Dion Nelson is all over Jared Schultz at the moment and looking for a way through. Yes, it is. There we go. Back up and hopefully riding. Let's have a look and see if there's any damage on that bike. Can't see anything from here. We'll see Purificati just probably give it a little switch around and make sure everything's working well. Check the brakes. Oh, and speaking of brakes, how's that for a brake check? Into turn 2. Seller dives on the inside of Flock and gets past. Let's have a quick look at that again. This is on board with Otto, and you can just see the front just tucks going into the right hand at the top of the hill. And that's great luck there from him that the bike didn't tumble too many times over, and he was able to pick it up and get back on track. Back to the front. McFadden, Seller, and Flock. 3 of them in full flight, and literally looks like one bike as they go through there. That's how close they are through turn 4. Han McMahon being hounded now by Nassim Vodvala. Good turnaround here from Vodvala, this time out in front of Brian Bontekoning. What a move there from Evil Knievel. Very easily done. Opened up the door and just forced his way through there on McFadden. McFadden goes defensive as Flock is trying to do the same thing. Garrick Flock knows that if Seller gets to the front end, he's going to try and disappear. And he cannot allow him to get away. Oh, big moment there for Flock. Coming out the back of the saddle there, nearly out the bike. It was a huge one through the left-hander. Remember, turn 7 is treacherous here at Zwartkops. There's been a lot of motorcycle crashes there in the past due to the fact that it's only the second time they get onto the left-hand side of the motorcycle. And if those tyres are not up to grip just yet or up to temperature, you can have a big moment through there, which I think Flock might have had. Here's a move. Wow! Look at that. Seller uncharacteristically making a big mistake out of turn 2, but he comes straight back at David McFadden, who dived on his inside, but I think he might have lost out. Further back, Han McMahon, Bontekoning also finding a way through. Here comes Seller on the inside of 4. You need big ones to go through in turn 4 to make it stick, but there you see, McFadden slams the door. Now there's a big drive up the hill. Look at Garrick Flock, the biggest man out there, looking for a way through on these two guys who are multiple SA champions in their own right. And McFadden is giving it as much as he's getting it. Look at that, that is 2x2 coming out of turn 5. Turn 6, they stay the same. Here comes Flock diving on the inside, trying to get a wheel in there, but he can't quite get there. This is brilliant stuff here between these top 3 riders. This is SA SBK in full flight, and exactly what all the crowds are missing, because there's none here today. Can you imagine if the crowds were here? This place would be erupting right now. Coming onto the brakes for turn 1, and this time roll off from Flock late on the back end of that King Price Extreme Yamaha. Looking for a way now. Can he go on the inside into turn 2? No, he's not close enough. McFadden's work between the two races seems to be paying off here. He pulls a little margin on the drive out of turn 2. Schultz still leading 600s from Otto. And then you can see Nicole van Arsvegen step up there from her. Brilliant stuff from van Arsvegen. Remember, she's riding as a celebrity rider this round, just to see if she's got the pace and the ability to run. We know that she's got that, but hopefully she's going to be around for the rest of the season as well. The top 3 now head up towards the top of the hill again. Is there going to be an outbreaking maneuver once again here from Seller? He pulls out a slipstream. Is he good enough on the brakes? Oh, McFadden got a little bit squirrely there. That's opened up the door, and Seller says, thank you very much, I'll take it. Goes into turn 6 in the lead, but here comes McFadden straight back up the inside of him again, looking for a way past. Can't quite get through there, but now heads down the hill towards G&H Transport Corner. Garrick Flock sitting in the best seat in the house. If something goes wrong between the top 2, he'll be capitalizing big time and scoring some huge points over the 2 of them. Highly unlikely, though, that these 2 are going to make it a little mistake, because if they do, they know just how crucial it is at this point. Through turn 1 again. A little bit of a margin now opening up there. You can see Seller seems to be pulling a bit of a gap, but as I say, that under braking, he gets closed down again by the 69 and by the 64. 64 is Flock in the slightly duller yellow leathers, but the all-yellow bike there coming out of DCCS, scoring and cutting. Nicole van Arsvegen has got through on Hein McMahon. They're closing in on the back end of Ricardo Otto, so the big Ducati's found a way through there on that BMW. And McMahon doesn't seem to have an answer. Can he try and find a way through? Not going to be easy. That lady, remember, has taken national championship podiums in her career, so she knows exactly what to do and where to put a motorcycle, particularly here at Zwartkops. Very good here. On the brakes, Seller now opening up a bit of a margin. Reason being is that you can see McFadden is having to go defensive to keep out Garrick Flock. The big man is looking for a way through, can't find it just yet, but the pressure is on, and David McFadden is starting to feel it. Let's see if that back has got late race pace. He set it up great for the first couple of laps, and now into the second half of the race. Oh, there's a mistake. Now, there's definitely something wrong in that bike. You could see he just wasn't the same McFadden he was earlier on. So he had initial pace, but something seems to have gone a little bit haywire there on the setup that they did with the changes they made between the 2 races. Nice little battle there for 4th place between Michael White and Dion Nelson. So the top 5 are all 1,000 cc's from the national class. 2 600s behind that with Bertolini in the mix with them. And then it's BSBs. And Luca Bertolini is actually the leader of that BSBs with these 2 right behind him. McMahon and our celebrity rider, Nicole van Arsvegen. Oh, that you don't see often. Final lap, and Damien Purificati being lapped by Clint Seller due to the fact that he's just been out there to try and score as many points in the Bridgestone Superbikes as he can. He's going to be finishing up in about 5th place, if I'm not mistaken, so it's a good recovery ride there from Purificati, but it's a great ride from Seller. Double win on the day, double 2nd place for Garrick Flock, and 3rd place for McFadden. We'll definitely see him maintain the lead of this championship, but Seller is definitely back in the hunt. There's confirmation. Seller, Flock, McFadden, White. Top 4 all out of SBK with Dion Nelson on the only Kawasaki in 5th. Bertolini takes BSBs, and Schultze again, the 600 winner. And the Seller shuffle now to Steve Cannon, the only spectator who ran down from the pit lane to say hi.
That was quite fun. It's quite a cool race. David and I were like spinning it up together, coming out of turn 3 in the beginning, and good little tussle, which was actually quite a lot of fun. You know, it's awesome to ride with these great riders, because you know that you're safe, and you know, everything will be under control with us all, so it's pretty cool. And then put my head down after I got past him, saw that I'd got a little bit of a gap, and then just brought it home.
A personal best there for Garrick Flock, his best ever at Nationals, 2nd place.
Started off, try to get into like 2nd place behind McFadden or David, whoever came past, and then just try and chase them down. Had a good dice between myself and David for a while, and then eventually try to catch Clinton and settle for 2nd.
2 3rd places will maintain the championship lead for David McFadden.
This race we just struggled a bit. It's just we haven't had much time on the new bike, and we're not really getting everything set up like we'd like. And now in the 2nd race was a lot better in the sense we could lead the race in the beginning, but we just didn't have the consistency yet. So we got some things to work on now. In the last few months, obviously not racing, it's been hectic, so it's nice to be back to racing. We'll see what we can do for the next race.
Amazing effort after the big crash from Jared Schultz in practice with 2 wins.
Race 2, I got a really good start, managed to get from 10th to 5th overall, and leading 600. From there, once again, just controlled the pace and came up over the line first.
Ricardo Otto with 2 seconds maintains the lead in the championship.
I had a little mistake at turn 5, but I rejoined and I caught up with the guys, and from lap 6 or something I just felt arm pump and alles, so I couldn't even pull the brake. So I ran off at every single corner. But yeah, now it's for the healing process, and let's see what happens for the next race.
Bridgestone Superbikes Race 2, it's Luca Bertolini who takes the honours.
The temperature heated up quite a lot from race 2, so it was a lot better. We could really push a lot more. I tried to stick with Dian and Michael, but they slowly pulled me lap by lap, but my pace was consistent and it went really well, a lot better than race 1. And I'd just like to thank my sponsors, Lacquer Racing, Zingerworks, my girlfriend and Jared Ray. It was a power race. Thanks.
And wheeling his way to second place, Han McMahon on an incredible ride on his BMW.
Thanks, guys, for the day. I just want to thank NGK and Bridgestone for having us here today. This race was really epic. We managed a second overall for the day. So this race I did for my buddy, my stallmate, Byron Rothwell, that couldn't join us, but this one is for you. And then obviously without the sponsors, this is not possible. So a great big thank you for BDJ Freight International, Mag Magic, Jay's Consultants, X-Pro Security Solutions, V&V Training, Full Warehouse, guys, thanks, and Pakisa Holdings, guys, thanks for you. If it wasn't for you, we won't be able to be here. On to the next one. Can't wait to see you guys soon again.
All this action from the SA SBK series is proudly brought to you by NGK Spark Plugs, Bridgestone Tires, and Rapid Bike Tuning. NGK Spark Plugs joins us for the very first time as the headline sponsors now and kicking off 2020's all-new SA SBK series. Superbike racing in South Africa is growing in leaps and bounds, now on Bridgestone rubber and new changes for 2020. 600s, thousands, and now with the Bridgestone Superbikes, which are now part and parcel of the National Championship Series. Catch all this action on Ignition, DSTV Channel 189.